Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. We're back out here at Pipeline to finish out our round trying to get under par on the blue layout. If you haven't seen the front nine video, I would appreciate if you went back and watched that. But before we get into the back nine, I brought the discs that I'm going to be doing for the giveaway. Just a quick reminder, if I'm able to beat my personal best today, I'm going to be adding discs to the giveaway depending on how well I do. So if I get to 5 over, I'm going to be giving away this Z Jawbreaker Passion with this sick die. And if I get to 4, I'll be adding this black on black glitch. For 3, I'll be adding this Aceathon ESP Flex Jawbreakers Zone. If I get to 2 over today, I'll be adding this Matt Bell Tour Series Pillar from Goliath Discs and the Glow Aces plastic. If I get to 1 over, I'll be adding this, I gotta remember, this one's a mouthful. Opto Orbit Ice Claymore, I believe. Something in that ballpark. If I'm able to get to even par, I'll be adding this Ava Lutsenko signed tour, well, not Tour Series, but fundraiser disc. And finally, if I get to under par, like I mentioned in the first video, I'll be adding this Paul Macbeth signed Zeus. But yeah, let's go ahead and get in the video and see what discs I'll be giving away at the end. All right, guys, we're on hole 10. This one is a par 3, 350 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked slightly off to the left. Really, all you need to do is throw like a straight shot. Only problem is this tree right here in the middle of the fairway is like the one thing that kind of keeps you from throwing the straight shot. So you can go to either side of that tree. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go with the overstable fairway driver and try and fade out in front of it and kind of give myself like a long putt from the left side, which is definitely the side you want to be on because the right side kind of filters down towards the OB fence. Oh, well. Okay, the kick back out in the middle. I was really lucky. Just like that. It's a little short, but I think we're definitely inside of circle 1. Okay, so I misjudged the distance by a good bit. I think we are in circle 1, but this is not as close as I'd like to be for my par putt. Well, let's go make it. Why are you pulling out to the right? I didn't have enough distance anyway, but all right, guys, we're on hole 11. This one is a par 4, 450 feet. The basket's down this way, tucked off to the left. Best play I found is just throw something really straight and just have it push as far down there as you can. If you want to miss on either side of the fairway, you want to be off to the left side because once you get about 250, 300 feet down the fairway, the left side opens up a lot, whereas the right side is just nasty rough the whole way down. So I'm going to be going with a fairway driver that'll kind of just turn a little bit initially. So I just want to throw it like at this one of these 2 trees on the left side of the fairway, get it to bend off of them, and just push straight all the way down there. If I throw a really great shot, you can get down there for like an eagle look, but we're just going for the easy birdie. Ah, dang it. Didn't throw it far enough to the left, but that's like the height, the power, everything I need for that shot. Okay, so I'm gonna try something a little aggressive. I do kind of have like a forehand turnover, but I don't want to throw something that's gonna go too far straight. So I'm gonna try is like a really flippy mid-range on a ton of hyzer. See if I can get it to flip up and just drift to the left for me. This is another shot that can go too far and end up on the right side rough, but if I throw it high enough, we should be okay. Ah. Well, worked out. Should be fine. Oh, wow. That got an enormous skip, but that's up there for like a long putt, I think. Okay, so I actually got up here into like circle one pretty much, but I've got absolutely no look at the basket. There's like 5 trees in the way, so I'm just gonna have to lay this up, get out here with the bogey. All right, guys, we're on hole 12. This one is a par 3, 391 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the right. Play I'm going to be going for is just a forehand that kind of lands right about where these trees are. If I get a big skip, I can get up there for like a circle 2 putt, but odds are we're just going to be laying up no matter where we land, because there's OB like 5 feet directly behind the basket. So unless we're like pin high looking at the basket from the left side, I might run it then, but odds are just going to be laying up, getting out of here with the par. Come on back. Ah, dang it. It's got the nose a little too far down. I need to throw it like almost at the tall grass. But I do want to get that disc nose down because I want gravity to kind of help me, so I'm not having to throw that thing too hard. But yeah, just have to throw that a little bit higher next time. There we go. All right, guys, we're on hole 13. This one is par 3, 328 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the left. Biggest thing to pay attention to is we got OB marked on the left side by the orange flags, which hopefully shouldn't come into play. But all we're really trying to do is just throw a straight shot that misses this tree in the middle of the fairway, and then we'll just kind of finish a little bit back to the left. Really don't need too much finish back to the left. If I throw it dead straight, I'm like 20 to 25 feet. So main thing is just getting the gap and missing that tree. Just get past it. Okay, that's fine. Nothing crazy, just a simple hyzer upshot. Just gotta decide which side of this tree I want to go on. And we'll go to the right side. I'm just early releasing everything today. I don't know what I'm doing. I got extremely lucky too. I'm barely not out of bounds. But let me get the meter off. Give myself another circle's edge-ish putt. Just gotta get this one the height. Get it there. There we go. All right, guys, we're on hole 14. This one is a par 3, 315 feet, which is a lie because this plays closer to like 400 feet. Like this hole could almost be a par 4, and it would make a lot of sense because off the tee, all I'm really trying to do is throw a forehand through the left gap, have it finish to the right, and just land pretty much straight ahead where you can see through the right gap. From there, we've got like probably like a 150-foot approach shot into the green, but it's a very tight line. It's a very tough shot, especially considering you've got really bad footing because we're on the side of the hill. So this is definitely one I've got to play for par. If I take a bogey on it, I'm really not going to be too mad, but I need to get a par on this hole if I want to get under par. So just got to give it some height, and I'm curious to see if I need to throw this on some hyzer, if I can throw this flat. I think I'm going to try on some hyzer. Looks really good. Yeah, I think it's a little short, so maybe I could throw that flat next time, but that's the exact shot shape I need. Sit down, sit down. Okay, I think that's gonna be like a jump putt up. All right, so no jump putting for me because my foot is in a hole, but kind of tempted to do like a little forehand chip shot, but we'll just chunk this up there as hard and as high as we can and see what happens. Nope. right, guys, we're on hole 15. This one is a par 3, 386 feet. I think you can see the basket just straight ahead. There's not really a lot of strategy to this hole. Really just trying to get down there as far as we can. I've gotten the birdie on this hole before, but I've also taken like a double bogey on this hole. So just got to get clean. If we even get like halfway down the fairway, that's perfectly fine, because then we can get up and down for a par fairly easily. I'm gonna go with a straight mid-range, just trying to throw it straight at the basket. Okay, just a little too low, but that's really good. Like, that's the line I want. If I give that like a foot more height and maybe just a little bit more power, I think we could get down there for a putt. But I think that's gonna be like, maybe like a 100-foot approach shot, something like that. We'll see. Go, go. Ah, just a little short, but not bad. We can make that putt. There we go. All right, guys, we're on hole 16. This one is a par 3, 250 feet. Basket straight ahead through this gap, tucked slightly off to the left. This is another hole where there's not really too much strategy to it. Just hit the line, get up there. Because it's another hole, if I just throw it dead straight, I'm gonna give myself a putt. Just gotta make sure I get the height right and hit the line. Golly. Actually, pretty good result. Okay, so yeah, we got really lucky getting through all that stuff, getting up here to where I've got a really manageable up shot. Even if I hit some of these trees that are in front of the basket, that'll put me like 20 feet. So, see what we can do. Okay, that might be like 50 feet. Ooh, about did it. Oh, it's so nice to have your putter working. All right, guys, we're on hole 17. This one is a par 4, 610 feet. This is where we start to get into the finishing gauntlet of this course, where we've got pretty much, yeah, I'd say the two hardest holes on the course. The only one that really contends with either one of them is hole 9. But for this one, we've got to go straight for about maybe 100 feet. Then the fairway bends off to the right, where it goes downhill to another fairway, kind of. Then from there, we've got to go back up to the left, uphill to where the basket is. So literally, if there was no trees between us and the basket, you would see the basket just dead straight ahead. But instead, we got to kind of maneuver through these fairways. Best play I found off the tee is to go for like a flippy fairway driver on some hyzer, get to flip past this tree on the right. If I can get to flip past that and just bend off to the right, we can get down there into the second fairway. Most of the time I throw the shot, I end up just kind of going dead straight, which is also perfectly fine, because from there we could pitch out into the fairway and then throw a shot up to the green to get a par. But the score I take on this hole is heavily going to depend on what I throw off the tee, so this is one I really need to be confident in and commit to. Oh, I liked it too. I don't think I threw it enough hyzer, because it was already flat by the time it got to that tree. So I might need to find something a little bit flippier for that shot, because I need to throw it on like a ton of hyzer and get to flip really late. Okay, so luckily I can kind of step out. We're gonna try and get a little aggressive, get to the bottom of the hill, flex forehand. Really just anything into the gap is gonna be fine, but just gotta get this right angle out of my hand. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, so we got down here to the bottom of the hill, pretty much a wide open shot out to the open. The only thing really got to worry about is I don't want to turn any shots over, throw anything to the right. I want to finish to the left and as far up the hill as I can, make that approach shot in the green easy. I'm gonna go with the overstable driver just to make sure of that. Main thing is I don't need to throw it that hard, so don't need to focus on getting a lot of power in the shot, just need to make sure I hit my line. just like that. That's fine. Yep. Perfect. All right, guys, we're on hole 18, final hole of the video. This one is a par 5, 784 feet. Like I said on 17's tee pad, this one and 17 are the two toughest holes on the course. I would argue 18 is tougher, but I've heard valid arguments for 17 as well. But main thing we're really trying to do off the tee on this shot is get past this tree just to the left of the yellow basket. If we can get past that by like 50 feet, we're going to be in a range where we can get up and down for birdie. Other than that, the main miss I'd like to make would be to the left. To the right's not too bad, but it's kind of a pick your poison type thing, because if you finish off to the left, your odds are you're just going to be able to pitch up to the gap that you need to throw through to get down the rest of the way to the fairway. If you go to the right, you can be lined up with the gap, but you're probably going to be in some kind of rough or something like that. Just kind of depends on how that shot works out. But from there, you're going straight down another hallway for, God, it's probably another 350 feet, with the basket being way up a hill. This is one of those holes where you could take a 8, 9, 10, something like that, or you can get a birdie, or I've heard of people getting eagles on this hole. But another hole where it just really depends on what I do off the tee. Gotta hit the gap and get down there. That's all I can do. All I can ask to do. Oh, flip a little more, flip a little more. Ah, dang. That's, yeah, just on the edge of the fairway. That's not bad. I threw that like I wanted to, but I was expecting to flip a little bit more because we're going downhill, but I didn't really throw that nose down anyway, so I'll have to change my game plan up a little bit on this hole since that disc won't flip like I want it to. All right, guys, I'm not going to be talking too much or trying not to waste too much time because I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes right now. But I'm going with a forehand roller, just trying to get through the gap, finish left. Get through there. Well, okay. I think that should be far enough to where we can work with it. Okay, so we made it to the opening of the gap. From here, sadly, I only have a forehand flex shot, but there's no shot that you feel comfortable throwing down this hallway. All I gotta do is get down there to the bottom of the hill. That gives me like a 200-foot approach shot to the green. Oh man, these mosquitoes are so bad. No, dang it. Ugh. Oh. Okay, that worked out. Right in the middle of the fairway. Okay, so you got a really good rollout. Only problem is I'm directly behind this tree, so I don't really have a clean run up or anything, but I'm still gonna try and get aggressive and get up there for a par putt. Just gonna give it height in the angle. Oh, overcorrected. I've been missing it, all those to the left. And that time I yanked over on it. Golly. That'll work. Ah, dang it. All right, guys, that finishes up our round out here, Pipeline. I don't know how to feel about that round because there was a lot of good and a lot of bad. The good was the fact that I didn't really take any scores worse than bogey, except for the holes where I expected to take a bogey or a double bogey with 18 and 9. And I was able to get a bogey on 17, which is a hole I expected to take a double bogey on. And aside from those holes, the worst score I took was a bogey, which isn't bad on a lot of these holes. The problems came from the fact that I wasn't making birdies to kind of combat the bogeys, and a lot of the holes that I was taking bogeys on, I was making just silly mistakes, or there were shots that I easily could have scrambled for par on or stuff like that. So it's just kind of disappointing, I guess, more than anything else. But I do think that with some tweaking of my game plan and just getting some reps on these holes and really just, you know, learning the shot shapes and getting the muscle memory down for the tee shots, I can definitely make a push for under par. But the one thing I did find interesting, especially comparing doing a break challenge or a scoring challenge on this course compared to Holston, is because like I talked about at the beginning of the first video, the front nine video, you have to learn how you want to land your shots at Holston. But out here, you've got to learn how to throw the lines that it requires of you. And so I can't do the same things I was doing at Holston, where I'm just throwing consistent shots where I know how the disc is going to aim. I can't just throw overstable shots. I've got to learn, flippy stuff, straight stuff. I've got to learn those types of shots, and especially out here, which is something you don't really run into a lot at wooded courses, but you can. But it's definitely prevalent at this course, is elevation change. I've really got to learn how my discs fly when throwing nose down, nose up, stuff like that. Like between the front nine and the back nine videos, I've already changed out 2 discs in my bag. So that's the main reason I really like doing these. Is just, it makes me have to play better. It makes me have to think about my bag, think about my game plan, and I have to change a lot of stuff about my game. And it's definitely making me a better player. But going into my second attempt, I think the main thing I'm gonna have to work on is just getting confidence with my forehand, especially on some tee shots, especially working on power or having consistency with it while throwing it hard. I'm definitely gonna have to work with that with the forehand, and especially some scramble shots. I was not scrambling very well with the forehand, but I think the main thing that really cost me a lot of strokes during this was my putting. Not only for missing short putts or inside the circle putts, but also because it messes with my confidence when my putt is on or off. And you could definitely see that during this video, where I was being a lot more confident with my up shots because I knew if I didn't get it close, I could still make the putt. So just coming into these rounds, being warmed up and getting my putter hot before I come out here and play is going to be very important, because I think that's going to save me a lot of strokes going into the second attempt. But yeah, I'm not really too sure when I'll do the second attempt. I'll probably wait like a month, or what was I doing before? I think it was like every 100 subscribers I was doing it, something like that. I'll probably just go for a month, just so that way it's kind of a regular cycle. But yeah, if y'all have any recommendations for shots I should try on these holes, recommendations for a game plan, please let me know down in the comments. I really appreciate any insight I can get. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.